Hey friends, Sam is by far my most popular cosplay, and I get questions all the time about how I did the head, so I figured I'd make a quick little video about it. First things first is for the costume itself. It's just a onesie. I paid a little bit extra to get it custom made to the way I wanted it. You can definitely make it a lot cheaper by just finding an orange onesie somewhere, but I knew I was going to be wearing this costume a lot, so because of that, I wanted to get it custom. So the choices I made, I think it was from a company called like the All-in-One Company, and you were able to pick like color and all that stuff. So I had them add in pockets that zip on both sides. I wanted the collar to be high up because it would help hide my skin between the head and the rest of me. I wanted feet attached, which I had a really hard time. The reason why I went with this company is I could not find onesies with the feet attached for adults. So yeah, so I wanted the feet attached, and I wanted the zipper in the back. The back is technically not screen accurate, but no one looks at the back of the costume, so I figured it doesn't matter, and no one's ever made like a mean comment about it. So once I got it, I just weathered it with paint, made it all dirty all over, and the patches are just felt pieces that I used some sort of glue, good for fabrics, I can't remember the exact name, and I glued them down and then weathered them as well. The mask, this is the shape of what it looks like laying flat. It is burlap. It's doubled up here on each side, so that, because I figured one side, just one, oh no, okay, back. I figured just one would be too thin, you could see through it. So I doubled it up and I sewed basically kind of a half circle shape and then flipped it inside out. So now this is the new right side out. That makes sense. So that the pretty stitch is on the outside. This stitching for the detail along the face, the smile, and what keeps the eyes on are all the same, just really thin twine I found at Joann's or Michael's or something. You can find it anywhere. And the eyes are just buttons that are not the correct shape, or they didn't have the correct number of holes, I mean, so I drilled extra ones so that I could do the cross to keep them on. And that's the face. It's really big. That's the mask. That's the mask part. I can talk, I promise. This is what keeps the sphere shape for the head. First time I wore it, I made a paper mache one. That'll work if you're only going to be wearing it once, but if you want to wear this a few times, I would suggest going with something more sturdy. Also, this, you can see better than the paper mache, you can breathe better, and you can hear better. So it was all around just a better choice. The paper mache ended up being this exact same shape. I cut a hole to put my head in, I cut a hole to see, and then I cut a slit so that I could squeeze my head in it. But it kind of started to deflate a little and die in the Florida heat. And like I said, I was looking for a more permanent solution. So this is Sam Head 2.0. It's a rat exercise ball. So if you can see, this is where the lid would go to take your rat in and out. And what I did was, it came from, I ordered it from Chewy.com. I think it was like $25, $30. I connected the two pieces because it came in two. If you can see along here, it snaps in two. And what I did was, these slits for breathing for your rat, I just cut along one of them, so that way most of the slit was already done. I cut this little part here, and I cut up to here, up to the halfway point, and that's what got me this. I moved a little further down, kind of just guessed, and I figured it was better to underestimate than overestimate. I ended up getting it perfect, so yay. And I did the same thing. And then once I cut up to here on both sides, it was able to just unsnap, because this is where one of the snaps was for it, like one of these parts. I just unsnapped that, sanded it down a little bit, and then I also added duct tape around it just for the sake of not wanting to cut myself when I put it on. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say other than head goes in here. I'm gonna make a really unattractive face as I put this on. Don't judge me. This is part of the reason why I wanted the high collar. And I personally wear my hair in a bun. Realize that's not an option for everyone, but it just kind of helps me keep it in place. So then from there, mask goes over it. It is tied on with just rope, just normal rope. I tied the ends in knots so that they would stop unraveling. Uh-oh, I have to sneeze. Oh, that's bad. And I tie it, make sure everything's hidden. And as far as the gloves go, they're just a really cheap pair. I think they're like $1 on Amazon of cheapo winter gloves that I cut the fingertips off of. And I found someone on Etsy made the lollipop. It was cheaper just to buy someone's pre-made one than to buy the supplies to make my own, just to make one of them.